The first time you shared a song, you were driving with the windows down, summer air warm on your forearms, the city sliding by like a slow film. A guitar line rose, your partner's face lit, and a lyric in their language landed in your chest before your mind could translate it. That's the spark we're chasing, sharing music and art in multicultural relationships, where a playlist becomes a bridge and a brush stroke becomes a handshake. When two worlds meet, the soundtrack is unforgettable. Creative moments change the room without asking permission. Colors soften shoulders that a calendar couldn't. A chorus can explain a feeling that stubborn words won't touch. Research shows art and music help couples read each other faster because stories turn into sensations, not debates. Have you noticed how one melody can make you both agree on what the evening should feel like? Welcome to Whispered Hearts, English, where we turn big emotions into daily rituals you can actually keep. Tonight we're building a home where your playlists talk to each other, where your walls say both of your names, and where date night is sometimes a gallery, sometimes a kitchen concert. You don't need perfect taste to do this well. You need curiosity and a little structure. But here's a question that can change everything before we dive in. What if your first art share doesn't need to be your masterpiece, just your memory? The song you sang on a bus as a kid, the poster that hung over your teenage bed, the first poem that made you feel seen. Which beginner piece would make your partner understand you faster than a resume ever could? Creative expression builds deeper bonds because it asks you to feel in the same direction. A beat trains your hearts to keep time together. A painting trains your eyes to linger on the same corner of the world. Therapists report that couples who share art make gentler repairs after conflict because they've practiced hearing each other without interrupting. Where do you already meet? Lyrics, landscapes, or the way drums insist on joy? But there's something even quieter holding love together as you share your cultures. It's the moment before you press play, when you offer context like a soft drum roll. We played this at every graduation. This painter reminds me of my aunt's kitchen. 2 sentences of setup can save you from misfires and pull your partner closer. What would your 2-sentence setup sound like tonight? Start with a story swap playlist. 10 songs each, placed in the order you met them in life, not your current favorites list. You listen once in silence, with the lights low and a pen close. Then you play it again and talk. Where were you? Who were you? What did this teach you about love? Which track on your life's side A deserves track 1 status? Now add an art walk that fits your week. It can be a museum on a free Friday, or a street with murals near a taqueria that knows your order. Stand in front of one piece for 2 full minutes without speaking. Then trade sentences. I see, I feel, I wonder. The goal isn't to be clever. It's to let the same image change both of your pulses. What wall near you is already waiting to be your teacher? Curiosity spike, right here. What if your partner's favorite song doesn't grab you? What if their beloved painting looks like chaos to your eye? You don't have to fake awe. You can borrow their excitement. Try, I don't love this yet. Will you show me where to stand so it clicks? When you ask that, you're saying yes to them, not just to a style. Bring the exchange home with a living room liner notes ritual. Once a week, one of you chooses a short performance video or a small print to clip on the fridge. You share why it matters, then translate one tiny element, an idiom, an instrument, a color that means something specific in your family. Small translations stack into fluency. What would be your first liner note if you started on Sunday? Let your hands play, not just your ears. Buy a cheap watercolor set, 2 brushes, and heavy paper that forgives beginners. Turn on a playlist that blends both worlds and paint what you hear. Vertical strokes for strings, circles for voices, bold lines for drums. Hang the best accidents in a hallway. If you're not painters, collage is permission to be messy and still be right. But conflict sneaks into art the way it sneaks into dinner plans. Maybe a lyric hits a nerve. Maybe a joke in a movie sits wrong. Picture a crisp winter evening, the heater clicking, 2 mugs steaming on the coffee table. You pause the track and say, "That line hurt. I know it wasn't aimed at me, but my body tensed." Your partner answers, "Thank you for telling me. Let's switch songs, and I'll send you the one that holds the same feeling without the sting." Specific action. Safety returns. Midway through, hear this from the heart of whispered hearts. English. You are not difficult if you don't get each other's art on the first pass. You are not shallow if you need a melody before a lecture or a color before a paragraph. This is a room where your ears can learn new maps and your eyes can find new roads, slowly and gladly. Use your city as a playlist. In spring rain, walk under shared umbrellas and let puddles drum your tempo. In autumn, hunt for leaf colors that match swatches in a painting you love. In summer evening warmth, sit on a porch and let a neighborhood radio bleed into your conversation until it feels like a third friend. In crisp winter air, breathe and name the chords of silence between passing cars. Try a 3 doors method to merge traditions. Door 1 is rhythm. Choose one beat that both cultures lean toward, whether it's a hand clap pattern or a bass line you feel in your ribs. Door 2 is tone. Pick voices, bright, hushed, raw, that both of you like. Door 3 is story. Choose themes, homecoming, road trips, first mornings, that you both root for. When all 3 doors are open, the room fills itself. Festivals teach faster than textbooks. Visit one event from each culture this year, even if it's small and free in a park. Listen to how the crowd claps. Watch who closes their eyes. Eat with the music still in your mouth. On the way home, ask each other, what did your body know in that room? What was brand new? Then choose one tiny thing to bring home, a rhythm for washing dishes, a chant you hum while folding laundry. But co-creation is where the bond deepens from we like to we made. Start a micro-project with a clear finish line, a 4-photo zine of places that feel like home to each of you, printed at a drugstore. A 3-minute voice memo where you speak favorite lines from poems in both languages over a quiet guitar loop. A 1-song dance you choreograph in the kitchen and film once, imperfect and true. Which tiny thing could you actually finish this month? Playlists become love letters when you attach intention. Build one called Slow Morning, Big Feelings, another called Errands with Jokes, and one called We Don't Fight the Sunset. Put one song from each culture back to back on every list. The order is a conversation. The mind will keep score. The heart will keep time. Your walls can host harmony, not just statement pieces. Try a gallery strip of small frames that alternate. Her print, her photo, his photo. So eyes move between them like a call and response. Choose one anchor, piece above the couch that you both like at a glance, not after a defense. A shared, soft yes beats a convincing speech. What image do you both smile at without thinking? Let your commute become a conservatory. On the train, trade earbuds and Pick one detail to praise, the drum ghost notes, the way her voice cracks like it means it, the color that stays in the corner of my eye. If you drive, switch who owns the AUX each week with a no-skip rule for the first track. Praise first, then request context. You'll arrive at work already speaking each other's dialects. But there's something even quieter that will protect your fun. Consent in art sharing. Ask, open to a very loud song, or want a heavy painting tonight or something airy. When energy is low, choose comfort pieces without shame. When energy is high, choose the wild cards. Consent speeds up growth because the nervous system doesn't brace for impact. Create a studio night at home with rules that keep it easy. 60 minutes, no phones, cheap supplies. One prompt pulled from a jar. Draw a sound. Rewrite a lullaby together. Take 3 photos of the same object from different angles. End with a 2-minute show and tell and 1 specific compliment each. The point is not the product. The point is the practice. Your elders can become collaborators if you invite them with dignity. Ask a grandparent for a song from childhood and record it on your phone. Ask an aunt for a story about a festival and paint while she speaks, colors moving as she remembers. When family sees their art living on your walls and playlists, they stop feeling replaced. They start feeling extended. Not every piece belongs in your home. Set a kind boundary for works that feel off. I see why this matters. The tone is heavy for our living room right now. Could we keep a photo of it in our album and hang this softer piece where we rest? You honored the story and protected the room. That balance keeps art joyful. Repair matters when humor misfires or an image opens an old bruise. Picture a Saturday afternoon, light slanting across the rug, a comment about a singer landing sharp. You say, I teased a thing that is sacred to you. I'm sorry. Then you add, teach me the part to love. I'll listen and I'll retire that joke. The playlist resumes. You're both still in the band. Use language as an instrument. Translate one chorus into your partner's tongue and tape the phonetics to the fridge. Learn the names of colors outside the red, blue, green trio, marigold, indigo, jade, in both languages. Say them while you cook. Say them while you fold. Words become paint you can pour anywhere. Here's a retention nudge to keep the comments lively. What's one song or piece of art that reminds you of your relationship? Name it below, and tell us the scene it belongs to. First road trip, quiet porch night, airport goodbye, kitchen dance. Your story might become someone's next date idea. When money is tight, creativity gets louder. Borrow books of prints from the library. Stream concerts that cost nothing and bring snacks you already love. Trade art dates with friends. Host a tiny gallery night where everyone brings a postcard-sized piece and a 2-line origin story. Beauty does not ask for receipts. It asks for attention. Senses make memory stick. Light a candle before you press play, so the room smells like citrus when the chorus hits. Eat something from the same region as the music, even if it's simple. Rice with a squeeze of lime, bread with a pinch of spice. Sip tea when the gallery pages turn. When smell and taste join sound and sight, your brain files the night under keep. Mid-roll reassurance, again from whispered hearts. English. You do not need to agree on everything to build a shared canon. You need a handful of anchors, a willingness to be changed, and a promise to translate, not test. This is your studio. This is your stage. You belong here, even when the first draft looks messy. Plan a festival at home, when schedules won't let you out. Project concert clips on a blank wall. Wear the colors that match the lineup. Build a set list with alternating picks and dance until your calves laugh. Between acts, ask, what did this teach you about who you were then and who you are now? Let seasons help you rotate beauty. Spring is for fresh voices and tiny frames on the windowsill that catch morning light. Summer is for outdoor drum circles and chalk on the sidewalk that washes into pastel memories after rain. Autumn is for brass, strings, and photos with leaves like confetti. Winter is for choirs, candles, and the quiet art that holds you when the heater hums like a gentle metronome. Remember to share the pen when you tell the story of your collection. If a guest points at a print and asks, "What is that?" trade the mic. Let the person whose culture it comes from speak first, then add your "how it found me." Ownership becomes companionship when both of you narrate. On nights when your energies miss, scale down rather than cancel. 5-minute listen, 1-minute reflection, 1 page, 1 color, 1 word. Say, "I want to keep our streak alive." You both show up, even small, and the room remembers that art night is a promise, not pressure. If you need a gentle challenge, choose 1 collaboration to finish by your next anniversary. A short photo book, a tiny song with a verse in each language, a wall of ticket stubs and hand-scribbled captions. Give it a title that feels like the two of you. Porchlight Duets, Kitchen Museum, Our Bridge. Make it imperfect and complete. As your archive grows, so will your ease. You'll know what to play when a day goes heavy and which colors to hang when you need bright. You'll reach for the poem that ends fights faster because it reminds you both why you care. Art becomes a first aid kit with soul. When friends ask how you blend cultures without losing yourselves, you'll point to a playlist and a wall and a small book you made on a rainy Sunday. You'll tell them about the way your partner laughs at a trumpet solo that once felt foreign. You'll tell them about how your heart now hears that rhythm as home. In the last scene tonight, imagine a gallery at closing time. The guard nods, the lights lower. You stand in front of one piece that now belongs to your life, and you both whisper the first line of the song that took you here. The city hums outside like a bass line. Your hands find each other, and the exit door becomes an entrance. We'll end where we started, with a promise and an invitation. Make one small thing this week that lets your worlds talk without words. Share it in the comments and tell us how it felt. Someone will borrow your map, and 2 more worlds will learn a new song. When 2 cultures meet, you don't have to choose one melody. You can write a harmony that sounds like you, in the life you're living now, with the people you love and the neighbors who hear your windows open. Keep the playlist open, the frames ready, and the studio night marked on your calendar. That is the quiet, joyful art of sharing music and art in multicultural relationships, and we're cheering for you as you play it.